You guys doing? So yeah, man. So on this video here, I'll be showing you guys something very interesting. Um, I don't know what basically I'll show you guys how to use your feed, basically your feed or your delay thing, on the actual instrument itself. So this time we're not using a mixer. We're going to do it on the actual instrument itself. Which is quite interesting. I actually just discovered this like now, like 10 minutes ago. I've always known it's there, but I've never really tried it out. So today I was just like on FL Studio and I was fooling around and I came across it and I realized that you can actually do exactly the same thing that you can do, using the delay bank or whatever thing plugin via the mixer. You can do the same thing just on the actual instrument itself. So I'll show you guys how to do that right now. So let's see. Let me just open a sound. Let me just open any sound. So let's use that sound there. Okay, cool. So like you guys can hear like this, it sounds flat, like it's just like in the center. So I'm sure you've probably heard this a lot, like you've heard this before, where like the sound in the track is actually going from left to right and right to left, or it sounds on both sides of the headsets or speakers at the same time. And you've always wondered how do they actually do that. Well, this is actually part of it. I'm not too sure of the details, but I'll just show you guys how you can actually go about doing this. So the typical method, let me show you the typical method that I usually use, which you've probably seen me doing half the time. The typical method that I use is obviously let's say this is my sound there, so I'll just do two of them, so like that. So the typical method is to assign it to the slot like that on the mixer, and then you go down, click on that arrow there, click there. Then I would go and say select, and then I'd go and choose delay bank, and then I'll do the whole delay thing on the mixer here, on the actual mixer like this. So now it sounds like that, and maybe I might try pan it. You see, so like stuff like that. So that's a typical method you can do, which is that one there. But then why waste time assigning it to a slot and doing all these things here when you can have the same effect on the actual instrument itself. So okay, actually, why did I do this? Let me just leave it like that. So fine, let's go here. Now what you want to do is you want to go to an actual instrument. So this is the sound we're using, which is a drum. So you want to go click on it like that, then it's going to pop up this whole thing here. Every instrument should have this. And then you have options. You have this one here, you have this one here, you have function. So this is like your instrument properties, miscellaneous properties, and then you've got your function, whatnot. So you want to use this one. So we've already, I think I spoke about this before, but I was speaking in terms of bass and stuff like that. So slowly but surely we're actually learning different things. We're learning this whole thing, what its function is and what you use it for. So we understand this part here excuse me, in terms of bass. So I'll leave this part and I won't speak about it. So you want to come to, I spoke about this during one of the learning how to mix videos. So if you don't know what this is, just go and check out one of the videos on learning how to mix. I think it's part 3 or part 2. So yeah, probably part 1 actually. Then this will, I'll explain, that's why I explained this part to you guys. And then yeah, and then you come to this side. So this way you do the whole delay thing. So you do it on this thing, on this function tab there. So you click on it like that. So what you want to do is, so as you guys can see, we don't have a delay now anymore, right? So we don't have it, so it sounds like this. It sounds flat. It's in the center. So what you want to do is, you want to click on this little arrow there. This little arrow here, right there. You click on it. You go to echo ping pong. There it is. There. Click on echo ping pong, and it's just going to do that for you. And so when you press it, when you play it, it sounds like this. Do you hear that? Like it's literally like going from left to right now. And that's that makes things 10 times easier for you. Instead of having to have a delay there, now you can just do it right here. And obviously I'm sure if we just keep on working around and playing around with this, we can discover a lot of things. So I'll just play around on the video here, but that was basically it. That's how you do that there. If you want to add like a delay to it, using the actual instrument itself and not having to go through the mixer process. Obviously you can control different aspects as well. Like you can control this part here, so it sounds like this. get it. So it's more in the background, and if you take it up, it's right there in your face. Then it's more in the background now, so you can hardly hear it. And then obviously this one is the same thing. This one is like more, it's like increasing, like the whole in your face type of thing. It kind of changes the sound as well. So as you can hear, that's how that one sounds. And then this is the pitch, just a normal pitch, nothing else. And then panning as well, you can play around with that. The time part, that's also important. You might want to play around with that. So that's basically like, it's the same as this part here. It's the same as this. The time part is the same as this thing here. It's there. It's also there. As you can see, it's pretty much the same thing, literally the same. It's just that it's there instead of here. So the time part is basically the same as how long it should actually last and stuff like that. So yeah, so let's check it out. Let's see what happens. So it sounds like this now. So let's take it up a notch to there. Let's bring it down there. See, so that's too much, so that's very quick. So you can hear that. So there it is, and the echoes as well. You can control how many echoes you want. Like you can put it up to 8 if you want to, and that's going to last longer. So it's going to be like boom, 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 and slowly fade away. So something like this here. So like as you can hear, like you literally hear it fading away. If the less echoes you have, the more you're probably it's going to be in your face as it decreases. So it's like, picture it. Let me do it like this for you guys. Let me show you like this. So let me do this instead. Let me show you here. So let's say this is our sound. So what I'm trying to explain, I'm trying to explain the time part, right? Because I know most of you might not get what I'm saying. I know it's easy, well, practically speaking, listening to it and actually what you can understand what I'm saying, but I want you guys to imagine it properly. So if we take this thing, the echo, sorry, not the time, the echo, and you put it on 4. So what that does, that means that it's going to have 4 echoes, right? So if it has 4 echoes, that means if this is the original, then the echo will probably be, it's decreasing in volume, right? So it's going to be like this. It's probably going to be like that, and sorry. I hate it when this thing happens. I don't know. And it's probably going to be like that, right? So this makes sense. So logic suggests that if it has 4 echoes, it's probably going to be like the lowest volume would be there at 43%. But if it has 8 echoes, then you expect that the lowest volume is probably going to be even lower than thing. It's going to be lower than 43%. So it's probably going to decrease even more, like that, and that, like that. So the higher the number of echoes you want, the longer it's going to last, basically, and the more it's going to fade in, and the volume is going to decrease. And it also means that these ones here might slightly be louder in volume compared to when it's on 4. So when it's on 4, it might be like that. When it's on 8, you might find that this one is slightly higher somewhere there, like that, to basically have to create that 8 echo environment kind of thing, so that it actually literally fades away and you can feel it and you can hear it fading away. So let me do this for you guys. Let me leave the volume there like that so you can hear what I'm talking about. Let me switch this off, reset. So it sounds, so this is what happened to the volume. This is what happens when you have the echo thing. It's like this here. You hear that? So it's like that, and then that's basically all that's happening. So let's do this. Let's say Control X now, and let's leave that one alone. Then we add ping pong again. Then put it on 4 echoes, so it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 type of thing. Put it on 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's basically just, that's basically it. So on 8 it lasts longer, and obviously you can increase. I think, okay, it goes up to 10, so you can increase it, and that will make things interesting for yourself. So you might put it on, let's say you put it on 6. Let's see, and then maybe so you hear how that sounds. And all that stuff there, and you can basically just about do that, and play around with your sound and fix it up like that. that's interesting. That's quite interesting. You probably use that when you're mixing down your track. Like you might want to have it panned, but at the same time you don't want to pan it just to the left alone. You want it to be able to jump around from left to right, so you can do that as well. But there's a whole lot of other methods to control the panning. I mean, you can even go as far as to use a formula controller. This thing here, Fruity formula controller, of which I did a video long time ago, like a long time ago on this. But I'll redo it and I'll show you guys how to do it again. Just to recap on that. On a different video though, not this one here. So let's see what this does. Let's test this out, because I don't know. I've never used this before. So, well, what do you know? That sounds interesting, don't you think? Like, I found that interesting. Look at that. Like, you can actually do something with that. You can actually make something. That's actually quite interesting. I never knew that before. So now I can actually use that in my tracks a lot, Listen to that. And you can literally make your own thing up in there and just fool around and stuff. So that's actually quite interesting. Let's see what happens if we take this off and just leave that on. Okay, so now let's see if we do the time like this. Take it up to about 2. Listen to that. That's actually quite interesting. Like, that's basically how I learn all these things on FL Studio. So I don't even think I need to do a tutorial on this anymore, because I'm basically covering it right now. So I wonder what the slide does. So the slide makes it cut off early and stuff. Let's see what else can we do. Well, interesting. Look at that. Like, you have the same effect, you have the same thing, except you're using a particular chord. So instead of focusing on just one key, you can do it on a chord. And you know what a chord is? A chord is like a set of keys, which is quite interesting. So let's look for so there's a major chord. So that would basically be like ho, half, ho. Okay, so you won't understand that. So let's look at that. So it's basically just going up the scale, like literally just going up the keys and stuff. And you can choose whatever chord you want, and you can do a lot of things with it. This is like flipping interesting. I never knew this before, So I'm glad I'm actually learning this right now, and while I'm teaching you guys as well. So yeah, there's a whole lot of other stuff there. There's different stuff, there's scales and stuff there, which you can use at your own time, But this is something interesting. So otherwise, yeah. So that's it, Like, so just to recap quickly on the important part of the video. And since we got sidetracked, you guys can also experiment and play around with this. I'm probably going to play around some more, and then I'll explain it even more later on a different video. But overall, yeah, so what you want to do, you want to click there, you want to go to ping pong, and then you want to play around with your time and the amount of echoes that you want, and then maybe you can control the sound here as well, to mix it properly into your track and stuff like that. So otherwise, yeah, man, that's all I have to do for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed this video here. Like, subscribe, comment, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, follow all the jazz there. Sharp, my friends.